With the ever-popular forecast, we're back with WAVY News 10 next.
I need a new what?
Weibo disc.
Come on, you're making that up.
No, I'm not making it up. Here it is.
How much is that?
$200.
Isn't that a lot for a Guibo disc?
Mostly labor.
What is a Guibo disc?
And now let's play Name That Brand Name. Sir, can you tell us the name of this saw in 2 seconds? Ready? 1, 2. Sorry.
If the brand names your home improvement store carries aren't exactly on the tip of your tongue...
HQ to the rescue!
With McCulloch's Eager Beaver gas trimmer and brush cutter. And 1-gallon spread house flat acrylic latex from Glidden with free custom color mixing. With over 30,000 quality and brand name items to choose from.
HQ to the rescue!
Tee up, Virginia. The $425,000 Crestar Farm Fresh Classic is back, featuring your favorite Chryslers and Plymouths, the official cars at the LPGA tournament. Now, test drive any new Chrysler or Plymouth and get 2 free tickets to the Crestar Farm Fresh Classic. Or you may purchase tickets at any Crestar Bank or Farm Fresh supermarket. Come take a Chrysler Plymouth test drive and welcome back the best women golfers in the world. Real advantages for the real world at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer today.
Watching WAVY TV 10. Now, Terry Zahn, Alveta Ewell, Bruce Wader, and Don Slater. Live from Virginia's leading news channel, this is WAVY News 10 tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, coastal residents braced for the worst from Mother Nature.
But this time, it looks like they were spared the brunt. Still, memories of the Halloween storm haunt them, and that keeps residents on the Outer Banks on guard. Today, some were preparing for what could have been, but while this storm threatens to do more flooding, it also promises to do some good. Blake Chenault reports.
The Bonner Bridge was just about the only structure in the Outer Banks to be affected by today's northeaster. Its strong winds and high tides added to the erosion of the pillars on the bridge. Acting on an increase in erosion patterns, officials hired a contractor to fix the problem. It's caused by strong currents getting forced into this inlet. But the problem is increased when you have storms like this, with their pounding waves that are really pretty relentless on these pillars. But in town, these waves were constructive.
That's always been a good sign for us is to gain sand. 2 years ago, a storm came in and took out all the sand, 11 feet of it, and we got a lot of damage to our parking lot. So anytime we see a storm come in with sand, we love it.
Part of that strange phenomenon is caused by the moon's rare positioning. That means unusually low and high tides, which in this case helps to strengthen local dunes.
Last night when I left here, we had 2 pilings that were here sticking up like 2-3 feet off out of the sand. And this morning, they were gone. They were covered.
The last storm to hit this area did just the opposite. But this one promises to help prepare the Outer Banks for more serious future storms. In North Carolina, Blake Chenault, WAVY News 10.
By the way, the worst of the storm is expected to be over with the coming of the next high tide, which is due in at 12:45 this morning.
Rising water was already threatening homes in Sandbridge earlier this evening. Although the high winds have died down a bit, waves could still be seen pounding the bulkheads. By late this afternoon, many people had already left their homes in anticipation of what could happen. Don is standing by in the Weather Center right now to update us on this storm. Don, what's the latest?
Thank you, Terry. We just got the latest report in on how the tides are doing. The tide is running about 2.6 feet above normal right now. However, at high tide tonight, anytime between midnight on the Outer Banks up to around 2 o'clock in the Hampton Roads area, it could be running as high as 3.5 to 4 feet above normal. So again, it is something to watch. We're just kind of getting over some astronomical high tides, new moon and everything, and that coupled with this storm, again, we've got some problems on our hands. I think tonight will be the worst tide that we'll see. Tomorrow at noontime and early afternoon, we'll have to watch that one as well. Terry?
Okay, thank you, Don. And trying something a little bit different tonight. A couple of minutes from now, at the end of our newscast, Don will be joining us on Contact 10 to answer your questions about this most unusual May northeaster. Turning now to other news, Congress took a first step toward building a new aircraft carrier today.
A House subcommittee approved $830 million to buy components. That announcement from Congressman Herb Bateman today. Since Newport News Shipbuilding is the only yard that could build the carrier, the announcement comes as good news. Congressman Owen Pickett warns opponents will no doubt try to delete the carrier. But employees at the yard are elated to hear their workload could increase.
The way they're taking money away from defense and everything, and you know, that's what we're here for, to build ships. If we get it, it's great.
If the full House and Senate approve the CVN 76, work could begin in 1995.
Some members of Gold's Gym in Newport News could be holding membership cards that won't do them any good. The card holders were led to believe the gym was a franchise. Now they're finding out it's not. On top of that, the owner is behind on his dues, and as of April 30th, the gym could be closing.
They don't tell you nothing. They said the gym might be closed Saturday. So how many weeks did I get to work out? 2 weeks.
I joined for 3 years, and I was under the understanding that this was going to be a hell of a gym to work out in.
Managers say the members will be able to transfer their memberships to another gym, but they don't know which one it'll be yet. Still ahead, an I-Team report continues.
Victims of an easy out.
I'm Stephanie Taylor. The price we pay for having a parole system. That's coming up next.
Mark Gunzenhauser Rugs and Carpets is moving. So if you want a great deal on a rug or carpet, you better get down to our old store, because carpets are flying out of here. Mark Gunzenhausers are moving, so carpets are flying sale.
How can I show you the real Cavalier Ford? Reasons why I started Cavalier. Because I know that just low prices aren't good enough anymore. That's why our service department is open every Saturday. That's why we change your oil and filter for free, for life. That's why we treat you like a guest in our home. There's a lot to like about Cavalier Ford, besides our low prices. Visit Cavalier in Chesapeake just once, and we'll be your Ford dealer for the rest of your life.
You could win a $100 savings bond just by knowing
Lucy, Esmeralda, Maquila, Cody, Ricardo.
the I Love Lucy Trivia Challenge. Tomorrow at 4:30, only on WAVY TV 10.
What do tourists mean to Portsmouth? Each year, tourism creates more than 600 jobs for Portsmouth citizens. And each year, tourists spend more than $29 million in the city of Portsmouth. Be good to our visitors. They're very good to us.
3 times the suspense. 3 times the danger. 3 times the terror. Alien 3. This film is not yet rated. Starts Friday, May 22nd at theaters everywhere.
Okay, Joe, we're going to put you to the test.
Okay, I'm a little nervous.
That's all right. We appreciate your honesty. In fact, that's the subject of our questioning today.
All right, fire away. Someone mentioned fire, and it's on the good.
Imagine you're walking down the street, you find a wallet with $100. Do you return it?
Of course you do. I do. I do. Don't I?
WAVY TV 10's Monique Braxton puts Hampton Roads to the test. The Honesty Test, beginning Monday at 11 on Virginia's leading news channel, WAVY TV 10.
The Virginia prison system is so crowded that convicts are being released whenever possible.
That's all an effort to save money and space, but innocent people are paying the price. And tonight, Stephanie Taylor continues her investigation into the parole system. She joins us now to tell us about the victims of the system.
And there are many, in fact, too many to mention here. In Virginia, everyone tried by a jury is sentenced by a jury. But by law, juries are not told about parole possibilities. A group of state lawmakers is trying to change that by asking the General Assembly for truth in sentencing, meaning the sentence given in court is the sentence that will be served. Then we might hear fewer of these stories.
She had been raped and strangled and pistol whipped.
I don't know how they could have agreed to parole him.
He shouldn't have died the way he died. That I'll say.
These are the victims parolees have left behind, and they are victims of a system that failed them miserably. Their family members were killed by people who should not have been set free. Prosecutors describe Joseph Odell's case as the worst they've seen. The Virginia Parole Board released Joseph Odell early, despite the fact that he killed a man while in a Richmond prison. He then went to Florida, where he kidnapped and beat a woman while attempting to rape, then kill her. He was sentenced to 99 years in prison, but was released 7 years later. That's when he murdered Helen Shartner.
He abducted her by force through the use of a weapon and then across the street into the field.
Then did to her what he planned to do to the Florida woman.
The one fact is that if he had not been on parole on February the 6th of 1985, he wouldn't have killed my sister.
The same may be true for Quentin Maddox. The man arrested for his murder had been out of jail only 30 days. And with no parents, that big brother was this little girl's whole life.
Oh, he loved her.
It's a frustration that torments prosecutors, whose life work it is to put dangerous people away. And it makes them cynical.
If he doesn't shoot the warden on the steps of the institution, then maybe we can find a way to let him out of here.
The man who viciously murdered Dorothy Sewell's son found a way out.
He was paroled 2 years ago.
After serving only a fraction of his 45-year sentence. He's still in the area, consuming her thoughts, feeding her fears.
And I don't know how he feels inside. Who else out there is in danger right now?
And by the way, the man who murdered Helen Shartner, Joseph Odell, is on death row in Mecklenburg. The man believed to have killed Quentin Maddox is also back behind bars. Tomorrow night, we'll see firsthand how this parole process works as we sit in on some parole hearings.
That should be fascinating. I've never seen that before.
Interesting process.
Look forward to that. Thank you, Stephanie. Alveta?
Well, President Bush declared today a National Day of Prayer. Students at Tabernacle Baptist Schools in Virginia Beach took a moment to thank God for all the answers to prayer in school this year. Students wrote essays on various topics about prayer. The lower grades made posters. Over 1,000 students participated in today's prayer day. Earlier this week in Los Angeles, members of Koreatown mourned the loss of life and property.
Today they had a chance to speak with President Bush, and that story tops our news from around the world this evening. The president surveyed the damage in Los Angeles. He met with leaders of Koreatown and listened to their stories of last week's terror. He commended the community for its efforts to pull together and rebuild after last week's looting and rioting.
A federal appeals court in Atlanta has overturned a lower court ruling in the 2 Live Crew case. A Florida sheriff took the rap group to court, claiming it's as nasty as you wanna be hit was obscene. The judge won the case, but today the Court of Appeals overturned the decision, citing lack of evidence.
3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of the maiden voyage of Endeavour on a satellite rescue mission.
Despite heavy clouds, the shuttle Endeavour burst into space earlier this evening. Mission Control says the brand new $2 billion aircraft appeared to have a perfect launch. The Endeavour is on a mission to rescue a satellite that's spinning in the wrong orbit. Another just interesting sidelight, Virginia Beach astronaut Ken Reitler Jr., who I followed when he went up in September, is the head Capcom, the guy who talks to the shuttle crew. So he was all excited about that. Good luck to them.
Definitely.
Good luck to us. This has got to end sooner or later, right?
Yeah, you better believe it. And I got a feeling it's going to be later than sooner. Don's in the Weather Center to tell us all about it after this.
Here are tonight's winning lottery numbers.
These days, I've got plenty of ways to spend money.
Mom, I need a check for my cheerleading outfit.
That's why I get all my family's glasses at Pearl's Eye Buys department.
Coach says I need a new pair of cleats.
Pearl's Eye Buys is a whole new department of great-looking glasses for only $49.95 each, including the lenses.
Hi, hon, I got your car out of the shop.
Yeah, thanks to Eye Buys, I've got money to burn.
Mom?
Eye Buys by Pearl, just in time for times like these.